The night Alina lost everything was quiet, too quiet. The kind of quiet that makes your heart loud. She stood alone in her small room, wedding dress hanging like a ghost on the wall, white, untouched, waiting for a future that would never arrive the way she planned it. Her phone lay on the bed face down. She already knew what it said. She had read the message 5 times, maybe 10, each time hoping the words would change. They didn't. I'm sorry, Alina, I can't go through with this. No explanation that made sense, no warning, just a goodbye that shattered years of dreams. If you're listening to this right now, don't go anywhere. This story is not just about loss. It's about the moment destiny knocks when life looks finished. Stay with me. Alina slid down the wall and hugged her knees. Her fingers shook. Her chest felt heavy, like someone had placed a stone inside it. Tomorrow was supposed to be her wedding day. Tomorrow was supposed to be the beginning. Instead, it felt like the end. Her mother knocked softly on the door. "Alina," she called, "baby, are you awake?" Alina didn't answer. Her mother opened the door slowly and stepped inside. She took one look at Alina on the floor and understood everything without asking. "Oh, my child," she whispered, sitting beside her, "life can be cruel." Alina laughed, but it wasn't funny. "Cruel," she said, "it destroyed me." Her mother held her close. Sometimes destruction is just another form of direction. Alina pulled away. "Please don't say that destiny nonsense right now." Her mother didn't argue. She only said, "One day you'll understand." Alina didn't want to understand. She wanted her old life back. She wanted the plans, the wedding, the certainty. But destiny had other ideas. The next morning, Alina woke up to sunlight she didn't want. Her phone buzzed nonstop. Messages, calls, questions she couldn't answer. She turned it off. The dress still hung there, silent and mocking. She reached for it, then stopped. "No," she whispered, "not today." Alina packed a small bag. No plan, no destination, just movement. If destiny was going to ruin her plans, she wasn't going to sit still and wait. She left the house before anyone could stop her. The road stretched ahead, long and uncertain. And for the first time in her life, Alina had no idea where she was going. Hours later, she found herself in a small town she had never heard of. Dusty roads, quiet shops, a place that felt forgotten. She sat on a bench near a bus stop, staring at strangers who didn't know her pain. "Funny," she muttered, "the world keeps moving." A voice interrupted her thoughts. "You look like someone running from something." Alina looked up. A woman about her mother's age stood there, holding a basket of fruit. "I'm not running," Alina said quickly. The woman smiled gently. "That's what everyone running says." Alina sighed. "I lost my future." The woman sat beside her. "Then maybe you're about to meet your destiny." Alina almost rolled her eyes. "Why does everyone keep saying that word?" she asked. "Destiny didn't save me, it betrayed me." The woman chuckled. "Child, destiny doesn't betray, it redirects." Alina shook her head. "Easy for you to say." The woman stood up. "Come with me, at least get something to eat." Alina hesitated, then followed. Inside a small cafe, the woman introduced herself as Mara. She owned the place. She listened as Alina spoke, about the wedding, the loss, the shame, the fear. When Alina finished, she felt empty. Mara wiped the counter slowly. "You know," she said, "some doors must close loudly so you don't try to reopen them." Alina stared at her hands. "What am I supposed to do now?" Mara looked her straight in the eyes. "Listen." "To what?" "Life." That night, Alina slept in a small room above the cafe. The bed was hard. The silence was different, but for the first time in days, she slept. Morning came with the smell of bread and coffee. Mara knocked. "I could use some help today." Alina nodded. She had nothing else to do. Hours turned into days. Alina washed dishes, served customers, smiled when she didn't feel like it. And slowly, something strange happened. Her chest felt lighter. One afternoon, a little girl came into the cafe, crying because she had dropped her ice cream. Alina knelt beside her. "Hey," she said softly, "it's okay, let's fix it." The girl smiled through her tears. In that moment, Alina felt something shift. Helping someone else eased her pain. That night she sat alone and whispered, "Is this destiny?" No answer came, but her heart felt calm. If you're still listening, this is where many people quit on their story. Don't. This is where it actually begins. If stories like this move you, remember to subscribe, because the next part will change how you see your own life. Days later, Alina received a call she wasn't ready for. Her ex-fiancé. She stared at the ringing phone. "Don't answer," her mind said. But her heart needed closure. "Hello," she said. Silence, then his voice. "Alina, I heard you left." "Yes," she replied simply. "I didn't mean to hurt you." "But you did," she said calmly. I felt like something was wrong." Alina closed her eyes. "So did I," she said. "I just didn't know it yet." After the call, Alina cried, not from pain but release. That night she stood outside under the stars. "I'm tired of fighting you," she whispered into the dark. "If this is my destiny, show me how to embrace it." The wind brushed her face gently. And somewhere deep inside, Alina felt a quiet yes. She didn't know it yet, but losing everything was the moment she began to become who she was meant to be. And destiny was just getting started. The next morning came with rain. Not the loud kind, just soft drops tapping the window like destiny knocking again, gentler this time. Alina stood by the glass, watching the street blur. For the first time since she ran away, she wasn't afraid of the quiet. Mara noticed her silence. "You're thinking too hard," Mara said, handing her a towel. "I'm scared," Alina replied honestly. "What if I stay here and this is all my life becomes?" Mara smiled. "And what if you leave and miss who you're becoming?" Alina had no answer. Later that day, an old man came into the cafe. He struggled to walk. Alina rushed to help him sit. "Thank you," he said. "Kindness is rare these days." Alina paused. "Is it?" He nodded. "People chase what they plan, not what they're meant for." That sentence followed her all day. That night, Alina wrote in a notebook she found in her bag. She hadn't written since she was a teenager. "I planned my life," she wrote, "but I never listened to it." Her phone buzzed again, a message from her best friend. "Everyone is asking about you. Are you okay?" Alina typed erased, then typed again. "I don't know, but I'm learning." Weeks passed. Alina stayed. She learned how to bake bread. She learned how to listen without fixing. She learned how to sit with pain without letting it control her. One evening, a storm cut the power. The cafe went dark. Customers panicked. Alina lit candles and spoke softly. "It's okay, we're safe." Her voice surprised even her. Mara watched her closely. "You've changed," Mara said later. "I lost everything," Alina replied. "No," Mara corrected gently. "You lost what wasn't aligned." That night, Alina dreamed of standing at a crossroads. One path was bright but empty. The other was rough but alive. She woke up with tears and clarity. "I think I know why I'm here," she whispered. The next day, a letter arrived. It was from her mother. "I don't fully understand your choice," the letter said, "but I see peace in your voice when we talk now. Wherever destiny is taking you, walk boldly." Alina folded the letter carefully. She stepped outside and took a deep breath. For the first time, she wasn't waiting for her old life to return. She was stepping into a new one. And destiny. It was no longer something happening to her. It was something she was finally choosing to embrace. The morning Alina made her next decision, the sky was clear. Too clear. The kind of clear that feels like a pause before something big. She stood outside the cafe, apron still on, watching Mara unload supplies from a truck. "Mara," Alina said quietly, "why did you stay here?" Mara stopped and looked at her. "I had a chance to leave once, a big one, good money, big city." And Alina asked. "And my heart didn't follow," Mara replied, "so I stayed where my purpose stayed." That word again. Purpose. Alina helped carry the boxes inside, her mind racing. That afternoon, a woman walked into the cafe holding a stack of papers. She looked tired, nervous. "I heard you help people here," the woman said. Mara nodded. "We listen, sometimes that's enough." The woman introduced herself as Claire. She had lost her job. Her house was about to be taken. She didn't know what to do. As Claire spoke, Alina felt something tighten inside her chest. This pain, she knew it. Without thinking, Alina pulled a chair closer and listened. No advice, no fixing, just presence. Claire wiped her tears. "Thank you," she said. "I feel lighter." After Claire left, Mara turned to Alina. "You see it now, don't you?" Alina swallowed. "I think so." "That broken moment you ran from," Mara said softly, "it trained you." That night, Alina couldn't sleep. Her old life visited her thoughts. The wedding, the pictures she never posted, the future she memorized. Then another thought came. What if that life wasn't stolen? What if it was released? Her phone buzzed again. A message from her ex-fiancé. "I'm moving on, I hope you do too." Alina stared at the words. She didn't cry. She typed back one sentence. "I already have." She placed the phone down and felt something final settle inside her. The next day, Mara called her into the back room. "I'm getting older," Mara said. "I can't run this place forever." Alina's heart skipped. "What are you saying?" "I want you to help me grow this place," Mara said. "Not just as a cafe, as a shelter for people finding their way." Alina stepped back. "Me, I'm not ready." Mara smiled. "Destiny never waits for ready." Alina felt fear rise. Responsibility, commitment, risk. The very things she once thought marriage would give her. She went for a long walk that evening. She passed the bus stop where she first arrived, the bench still there, the same road. She could leave. She could return to what was familiar. Or she could stay and become someone new. She whispered, "Is this the moment?" The answer didn't come as a voice. It came as peace. That night, Alina stood before the mirror. She didn't see a broken bride anymore. She saw a woman being shaped. Before we go any further, let me say this. If this story is touching something inside you, don't let it end here. Subscribe, stay connected, and walk this journey with Alina, because what comes next will challenge everything you think destiny is. The next morning, Alina looked at Mara and said, "I'll stay." Mara nodded like she already knew. But embracing destiny always comes with a cost. And Alina was about to pay it. Because the moment you choose purpose, life tests how serious you are. And that test was already on its way. The test didn't arrive with noise. It arrived quietly, wearing a familiar face. Alina was wiping tables when she heard her name. Alina. Her hand froze. She knew that voice. She turned slowly. Standing at the entrance of the cafe was her ex-fiancé. He looked thinner, nervous, out of place. For a moment the room felt smaller. "I didn't know you were here," Alina said, her voice steady but her heart loud. "I followed a rumor," he replied. "Someone said you disappeared, then someone else said you were here." Mara watched from behind the counter but said nothing. Alina wiped her hands on her apron. "Why are you here?" He hesitated. "I made a mistake." The words hung in the air. A few weeks ago, those words would have shattered her. Now they only echoed. I thought leaving would fix the confusion, he continued, but it made it worse. Elena nodded slowly. Sometimes clarity comes after loss. He looked surprised. You sound different. I am different, she said. They sat at a corner table. I miss what we planned, he said quietly. The future. Elena looked at him carefully. Do you miss me or the plan? He didn't answer right away. That silence was the answer. I came to ask if we could try again, he finally said. Elena felt the weight of destiny press against her chest. This was the life she once begged for. This was the door she cried over. Now it was open again. And for the first time, she wasn't rushing toward it. I don't hate you, Elena said gently, but I'm not the girl you left anymore. He leaned forward. People change, we can adjust. Elena smiled sadly. I didn't change to adjust, I changed to align. He frowned. Align with what? With who I'm becoming. The cafe was quiet. I found purpose here, Elena continued, and peace. So you're choosing this place over us? He asked. Elena shook her head. I'm choosing myself. He stood slowly. I hope you don't regret it. Elena met his eyes. I already know I won't. He left without another word. Elena sat still for a long time. Her hands trembled, not from fear but from release. Myra walked over and placed a cup of tea in front of her. You passed the test, Myra said softly. Elena exhaled. It didn't feel like victory. Growth rarely does, Myra replied. That night Elena cried. Not because she was weak, but because she was strong enough to let go. Days later, another challenge came. The cafe received a notice. Rent increase, short deadline. We might have to close, Myra admitted. Elena's heart dropped. Not this, not now. She walked the streets thinking. If destiny led her here, why was it threatening to take it away? Then she remembered something the old man once said. People chase what they planned, not what they're meant for. Elena returned to the cafe with fire in her eyes. What if we ask for help, she said. Myra raised an eyebrow. From who? Everyone we've helped, Elena replied. They wrote letters, made calls, shared stories. People responded. Small donations, big encouragement. Hope. Elena stood in the cafe that night, looking around. She wasn't just working here anymore. She was standing in her calling. She whispered to herself, this is what it means to embrace destiny. But destiny wasn't finished shaping her, because the biggest decision of her life was still ahead. And it would ask Elena to choose between comfort and impact. Afternoon. No signs, no warnings. Just a letter slipped under the cafe door. Elena picked it up while Mara was in the kitchen. She read it once, then again, her hands slowly lowered. What is it? Mara asked, noticing her face. Elena swallowed. An opportunity. Mara wiped her hands and came closer. What kind? The kind I used to pray for, Elena said quietly. The letter was from a foundation in the city. Someone had visited the cafe weeks ago, listened to the stories, watched Elena work, watched how people opened up around her. They were offering Elena a position. Training, funding, a chance to build support centers like this cafe on a bigger scale. Her heart raced. This was destiny too. But it came with a condition. She would have to leave. Elena sat on the steps outside as the sun dipped low. The town was calm, familiar, safe. Leaving once broke her. Leaving again might shape her. Mara sat beside her without speaking. I'm afraid, Elena admitted. Good, Mara said. Fear means it matters. What if I fail? Elena asked. Mara smiled gently. What if you don't go and never find out? Elena thought about the girl she was months ago, crying on a floor, begging life to make sense. She thought about the woman she was now. Stronger, clearer, awake. That night, Elena packed slowly. She didn't feel rushed. She felt ready. Before sunrise, she stood in the cafe one last time. "Thank you," she whispered to the walls, "for breaking me open." Mara hugged her tightly. "This was never the end," she said, "just the beginning." Elena stepped onto the road again. But this time, she wasn't running. She was walking forward. And destiny walked with her. Elena didn't lose everything before her wedding. She was released from a life that no longer fit her soul. She learned that destiny doesn't always come dressed as joy. Sometimes it arrives as loss. Sometimes as disappointment. Sometimes as a door slammed shut. But when you stop fighting what's gone and start listening to what remains, destiny becomes clear. Elena embraced destiny the moment she chose growth over comfort, purpose over plans, and truth over fear. And her story doesn't end here. Because destiny is not a destination. It is a journey you choose, again and again, especially when life doesn't go as planned. If you're listening to this and standing in your own broken moment, remember this. What feels like the end may be the exact place your destiny begins. Be of good courage, embrace destiny, and walk the part of greatness meant for you.